Greetings, Dan Sabo here. You've probably read some of my posts about local history and politics and government in the city of Plymouth, and I thought I'd try something a little bit different today and have some fun. So I brought with me a couple of visual aids to make my point about parking in downtown Plymouth, actually all across Plymouth for that matter. So I'm just going to grab something here and show you this. You probably know what this is. Some of the history buffs in town may have seen a certain historic photograph of a character in town over 100 years ago posing with an ox yoke on his shoulder in front of a greenhouse. That's what this is. This has been in our family for a very long time. It came out of the Starkweather barn in Old Village. And I'm going to set it down here just for a moment to make a point. I'm going to measure the distance between these two holes. And it comes out to be about 6.5 inches. Now, if you look up a website called Tillers International, they're a Michigan group dedicated to preserving sustainable methods of farming from the 19th century. They'll tell you on their website that this is just slightly smaller than a medium-sized ox yoke. And if you measure the entire length, it's about 50 inches. So if you add 3 inches to each side to account for maybe if it was a bit of a husky shouldered oxen, that's about 56 inches wide. So what I'm saying is that this is a mid-sized pickup truck of the 19th century. Because who else but a farmer in Plymouth would use a team of oxen? Well, other people would. You could use a team of horses too. But so that makes a team of oxen about a mid-sized team of oxen about 4.5 feet wide. Team of horses is slightly wider. That's going to be about just under 5 feet wide. If they're draw horses, the giants, maybe 5.5. So today, the average sized sedan, well, mid-sized sedan, measures about 72 inches wide and 6 feet. So, you know, a fair amount wider than a team of oxen. And a full-size sedan is about 6.25 feet wide. So it was 75 inches. So you're adding on considerable more width. So what I'm saying is that a team of horses or oxen back in the day of the late 1800s was narrower than the average mid-sized car. And you also have to consider that today the average width of a parking space is anywhere from 7.5 to 9 feet wide. Now, I'm telling you all this because I'm trying to make a point. I have something else to show you here. This is an original Plymouth mail. It's dated August 23rd, 1889, and we know it's an original and the real thing. This was actually delivered to a Plymouth resident because we see the mailing label of the Plymouth resident right there. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll hold it still. This was actually delivered to the future mayor of Plymouth. Many years after 1889, he became mayor. But my point is, I want to read something to all of the business owners in downtown Plymouth, especially those in the Kellogg Park area. This is from the front page, and if it's on microfilm at the Plymouth Library or the museum, you can look it up yourself. And here it is. Plymouth needs more places for farmers to hitch their teams. Although our village is well equipped, although our village is well supplied with these necessary things, yet on Saturday evenings especially, it is becoming almost impossible to find a place for all the teams. So, my point is, people downtown who are complaining about lack of parking, well, you know what? Join the club, of the 19th century, because they had the same problem 127 years ago, and they had the same problem in a town with population 1,600. And as a matter of fact, in this very issue, it states what the population of Plymouth was back then. And not only that, you're talking about a situation where the required parking spaces were actually narrower than they are today. Another point to make in this very paper, they had free concerts in the park too in 1889. And I'm going to show you right here. I'll hold it as still as I can, but I'm going to walk up to the camera. And as you can see, free music in the park in 1889. I'll read it to you if you didn't have a chance to see it. Band concert, free entertainment every Saturday evening in the park, Plymouth, Michigan. So there is a solution. Now, the solution I've been reading about lately is demolishing more historic sites for parking right in the downtown area, expanding the downtown area for more parking, and eventually, I guess that City Hall would love to have more condominiums and apartments built in and around downtown, as they're doing right now in Old Village. My point is this: the solution is not killing the golden goose, which is what Plymouth City Hall and the Plymouth City Planning Commission has in their master plan. The solution was in the palm of the hands of the Plymouth City Commission just a few short years ago. At one time, the city owned the Bathy site. They owned it for back taxes. They disposed of it. It's for sale now, it's my understanding. City should reacquire it, because that site could probably solve all of the parking needs for the entire city of Plymouth, because the place is so huge. You could even build a second or a third deck there and provide shuttle service, for a fee shuttle service between that deck, that parking site, and Old Village, or that location in downtown. In the summertime, a lot of people will just want to walk, because Plymouth is billed as a walkable community. So there are other solutions, and this parking problem is nothing new in town. As you can see, there's the proof. And Plymouth has other problems, including needing a rail overpass at either Blanche or Farmer, but that's a whole other story, and maybe I'll do a video at some point on that, at some point in time on that. I do have a pending op-ed into the Observer about that very subject. So I hope you learned something, and I hope it didn't bore you. Thanks very much.